Management Decision and Control, CPA paper 11. It's here. These are the deliverables we have for this session. There are 7 of them. The first one is the syllabus. But this is the syllabus structure in a summarized way of this paper. This paper, it's paper 11, level 1 of the CPA course. It integrates. To sit this paper, you have the prior knowledge of the first 2 papers of level 1. Cost and management accounting plus the quantitative techniques. Those 2 papers, they are like the foundation level for this paper. You need that knowledge to sit this paper. Then, in terms of its hour rating, it is given 3 hours. You are expected when you are sitting its exam, you sit it within 3 hours. And the institute is generous. They give you golden minutes, 15, for reading and preparing for the next 3 hours. When you enter, they give you 15 minutes after receiving the answer booklet and the question paper, and you organize yourself. So, this paper has got a compulsory question, section A, 40 marks, and it has got section B, which has 4 questions, optional questions. You only answer 3 in section B. In total, 40 marks section A. Section B, you get 20 times 3, 60, and you top up 100%. The major content is that next bullet. The 7 learning outcomes and the topics. The 15 topics. It has 15 topics and 7 learning outcomes. And this is where the examiner will bring out all the layout the way we are saying here. But the concentration of the institute and the examiner is to ensure that you satisfy the 7 learning outcomes. And for you to satisfy in your answers the 7 learning outcomes, you read 15 topics. Is it clear? You must read 15 topics to, when you are answering, you are going to show to these examiners that I've read the 15 topics and I'm showing you my knowledge on the 7 learning outcomes. They want to, that's what they are testing. So the paper is rotating around there. The next bullet also qualifies to be on that one, the previous one. It tests students' ability to interpret, analyze, evaluate, and the application of knowledge with skills to the real world in office. So you must be able to show them that yes, if I'm facing this problem, I can evaluate and advise. I can assess this problem and advise accordingly. Or I give my decision. This paper, you find when you check these question papers, most of its marks are awarded on computations. Most of its marks are awarded on computations. Over 70% of the marks go on 2 computations, and the discursive take nearly 30% or less. Have you ever tried that, to look at that paper? When you get the paper, when you are reading, get the past paper, and try to add the marks which are going to discursive questions and the marks which are going to, for this paper, management decisions and the control. What is the relevance of this paper to us? At the end of this paper, we are expected to have acquired knowledge, techniques and skills for understanding the role of management accountants. we are expected that when we finish, we shall be in a position to handle world complex business situations. We face a lot. I always tell people that management accounting job is not easy. You can be hired today and you are sacked tomorrow. Handling, you get the skills of how to handle those world complex business situations. And it exposes us. It prepares you to be a decision maker. It prepares you to be a decision maker. When you look at the questions these guys ask, most of them, the requirements, when you look at the requirement parts, they are moving with assess, evaluate, check the effect. All of them, they are in the advisory mode. The paper prepares us. But in the general perspective, what is the relevancy of this paper? In the general perspective, not only these ones may be a few, but what is important is that first paragraph. That if you acquire the skills, can you apply that knowledge you have acquired? Can you apply your skills you have acquired to help management in decision making and planning, help management in directing and controlling operational activities? Can you set systems that are motivating your fellow employees if you are in employment? If you are up there, you are the top guy, can you motivate your subordinates? It equips you with those skills. Performance measurement, it does. At the activity level, individual level, it does. It equips you with those skills. There are techniques which you study in that pack, the 15 topics pack. Then when you finish it, you get the knowledge that yes, if I'm to assess performance, expectations of examiners. What do these guys want? These guys who? Why do these guys, the examiners, we complain? We as students complain that this paper is very hard. But is it hard? Let me hear it from you. Is it hard? Let us take a note of this. This is where these examiners trick us. If we appreciate this slide expectations of the examiners, you will find this paper to be simple. This is where they trick us. The first thing they expect you as a candidate for this paper is syllabus coverage. It is a principle. It is the first thing which you must know, that you're going to see this paper, 80% of the learning outcomes and the topics is covered. Why? The examiner is going to say the compulsory number covering more than one topic. You get it? There are 15 topics. The examiner wants to put 80% of 15. Those are how many topics? Those are close to 12 topics. The examiner has to put in a paper of 5 questions. He wants to address how many? 12 topics. At least 12 topics. So if he's going to put in that paper 12 topics, and before you come, you read 7, haven't you put yourself on risk? So the best thing, read all the 15 topics. Cover them. Read all the 15 topics. So that's where we go wrong. For us, we concentrate on a few, and then we say the paper was hard. This one, the next one, exposure to different sectors. Because all the 5 questions, you see that they are scenario based. It's not like the other paper of level 1, cost and management accounting, where they will ask you things which are direct. The examiner here will give you a scenario. First gives you a scenario. Which scenario is picked from different sectors? Meaning if there are 5 questions, so the paper may have 5 sectors. Actually, expectations of the examiner are 3 in summary. Leave alone the first 2 topics. the technical knowledge, the examination technique, and the presentation skills. There are three. The examiner is rotating around that. But for the paper itself here, the man is targeting technical knowledge. Or the woman, because the examiner may be a woman, is targeting your technical knowledge. On the learning outcomes, can you apply the knowledge you have got to the business scenarios? Because this is what is giving you in the questions. When you read these three ticks, basically the last two demonstrate how to use analysis, evaluation, assessment, critical analysis, decision making, and discussion skills. Do you need to first identify the topic? The answer is no. You look at the requirement. Have you understood what the examiner's intentions are in the scenario? The content of the scenario. That's what is important. Because if you understand the contents in the scenario, it implies you are in capacity to answer the requirement. So, when we started the 15 topics, we started the 15 topics to acquire knowledge, which we are going to put into practice. But we are not using the copycat or copy-paste basis. That the way I read it from Odrure, it's the way I'm going to put it here. No. These guys, they are not going to allow you to do that. You are not going to just go, you read, say, about cash budgets, and you will find that the examiner will set the arrangement of cash budgets the way you feel it should be, the way it is given in the examples which you are going to find in the lectures. No. This guy will make you rotate and rotate, but when he's asking for the cash budget. If you want to take an example of a good cash budget question which they said, under technical knowledge, we were talking about show what you know, but not how much you know. Under technical knowledge, you show what you know. In that here we are looking at quality versus quantity. You may try to write it too much, and you write it too much, but when you are not bringing out the point. You get it? Now look what the other question they were saying. Budget slack and its effects. You may write a full page over that, and the examiner gives you one. The marks were, they were giving 2 marks. The examiner gives you 1 mark. Someone comes with just a short paragraph of around 3 sentences and is awarded 2 marks. It's all about the quality of the content. Be on point and specific. Don't write too much. Because the man asks you the meaning of the budget slack and its impact. Don't write any impact. See, look at the marks they are giving you. So show what you know, but not how much you know. Show knowledge and understanding of the current global economic, accounting, and management changes. This one is part. There is a full topic over that. You need to appreciate what has changed. Because these examiners, when you try to read their questions, not only MDC, when you try, you always find basically integration of knowledge, paper 18. You might have not got interested to read about those papers. But if you try to read these scenario-based questions, the examiners try to move around the current issues which are moving within. When I say that the word technical knowledge causes too much to our failure of this paper, do we appreciate that the major thing, I want to summarize it now, that the major thing which you need to know when you're answering, whether you're answering section B or section A, first of all, don't enter the paper looking for the topics. Don't make that error. No. It implies you have not prepared very well. But if you are prepared very well, read the scenario, understand the scenario, look at the ingredients of the requirement. It will give you a key of how to unlock. Because the fact is, these examiners set these questions and they put their logical paragraphs. What are they saying? Evaluate or assess. A candidate writes 3 pages. 3 pages of qualitative analysis without involving figures. But the examiner provided the figures. I've told you you can read the examiner's reports. So, but the examination technique is good time management. The paper we said is 3 hours, right? 3 hours times 60, that is 180. 180 divided by 100, that is 1.8 minutes per mark. So, you should be moving around that to manage your time. That if you are answering a question of 40 marks, how much time are you going to spend on it? How many minutes? A question of 20 marks, how many minutes can you spend on it, on average? So that it helps you. But there is a tendency that we as candidates, you may over-concentrate on the 40 marks and you forget that section B has 60 marks. You wasted 2 hours on question 1, which question 1 you have also failed to reason. At the end of the day, you come out with, say, 15 out of 40, and you have not attempted section B at all, because you wasted a lot of time on question 1. Then listing of answer points and giving insufficient answer points, failure to balance section A and B. This is how we have so far performed for the last, since the new syllabus was rolled out. The highest trend is on failure. The lower trend is on the pass. You see? The lower trend is on pass. But failing, that's how we are performing. This isn't looking good. And let us see why we fail. Why our performance is like that the failing part is basically the one which is high. You can see almost 75% failed in August, 73% failed in June, 81% failed in December, 64% in August, 79% June 2017. You see the trend? About 50%. Can we make a statement that in the next sitting, we can make a statement and we reverse? The 75% turns the other side and the 25% comes this side. Conclusion, we go back and still the conclusion is referring you back to technical knowledge, the major gist. Thank you for